First, it was kind of the engine to be able to think. Now they're incorporating vision, and they released this week a way to be able to speak. So I think that is getting all of these senses, right? I think that at some point it needs the body.
Our buddy
So
Elon's working on that. What are some of the other impacts you think of, like this ChatGPT OpenAI technology, if you think
look,
about it?
another one is maybe we don't need to have like 5-day work week, right? Or maybe some people do 6 weeks on so 6 days, like up to Saturday. So maybe in my shrink, I have noticed it with when I was working in different companies, they will give us some Fridays off,
Hmm.
right? So because, and I think that this works when you have intellectual work. Obviously, if you are like in a more physical kind of work, it's like if you're like our friend Rico, right? Like if you're a barber or some things like that, you have to do it in person.
Yep.
But for some virtual remote type of intellectual work, I think that helps to be able to have a little bit more time to be able to just recharge. So maybe we're gonna start seeing companies adopting a 32 hour week instead of 40-hour work week. What do you think?
Hey, I'm all for it, you know. No, but I think, I've always thought it was kind of weird that, okay, we as humans, right? There's that saying, you don't live to work, you work to live, right? And so the split, I always thought it was a little off, the 5 days of work and the 2 days weekend, right? It should be a little bit more even. 4 and 3 is probably fine. So why not?
So
And
you would think for basically, yeah, I guess 3 and 4, right? It's not there is no specific middle.
you could do 3.5 days, but but you know what I think has also kind of taken us a step in that direction is, the whole work from home, the working
Hmm.
remotely. You essentially you get a little bit of extra, maybe a little bit of extra time, especially if you don't have to do the whole commute thing and things like
Hmm.
that. Maybe you can be a little bit more efficient in some ways, or get a couple extra hours of work in because you're not doing this whole commute. So, I mean, we're already taking little baby steps in there. So maybe that's the way. And AI, just in general, is going to become easier to use. They're going to be more efficient. People are going to think up of new ways of using it. So I think that's something that could be pretty interesting. In some of the news that came out with this Sam Altman stuff and the Open AI, and this baby Terminator, or this new AGI stuff coming out, you know, they're saying that the singularity, or the age of the super AI computer is getting moved up quicker and quicker. So I think
Yeah.
we talked about singularity was maybe planned in the 40s, right? Now they're saying like, early 30s. Now it could be like, at the end of the 20s, we're going to have something that can really take over a lot of the knowledge work that goes on, just because, it's all about, taking notes or putting documents together, maybe coming up with ideas for a better strategy. What's the most efficient way to organize your teams? What are some interesting new products to try and invest in? AI should be able to do that fairly easily, and then give probabilities, especially now with this newfound math capabilities, you know to optimize for the perfect output, or a really good product to have better engagement with your customers. I mean, it could go on and on. It can do all of it instantly, just about. So at least in comparison to a person doing it.
Hmm.
So it's going to be really interesting to see, what's going to happen with all the knowledge workers. And open AI, ChatGPT type products are going to be able to do a lot of that for us. Now, I think the idea behind some of that is that we're going to be someone has to use the tool. Chat GPT is only a tool, but of course, when we get to that singularity part, or when there's this general use AI, it may not need an operator, right? It can operate on its own. And I think that's the key difference is it'll switch from being used as a tool to it's using itself as a tool. It can create new chat agents or GPT agents with all by itself, just depending on what its goal is. So
Yeah,
That's what we're
and
moving towards.
and I think that is like first it was kind of the engine to be able to think, right? Now they are incorporating vision, and they release just this week a way to be able to speak. So I think that is getting all of these senses, right? The whole algorithm. I think that at some point it needs the body. so,
Our buddy
so
Elon's working on that.
yes, which is actually Elon Musk, right? And Tesla, they are working already on the robot. So I think that now we are seeing where all of these technologies will converge. And imagine your Alexa will say, "Hey, Alexa, clean up my dishes, right? And wash the dishes, right?" So it will be able to do operations like that, right? So which is kind of converging all of the tech. Uh,
That's all we got for today. If you like our content, just be sure to like, subscribe, comment. I know we're hearing lots of comments lately, so it's good to hear some of the engagement that we've got in the community. I think it's pretty good. Any closing thoughts, Mondo?
Yeah, I think that we should make an episode on the comments, and then we'll start bringing up some of the comments.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We should start bubbling up some of the most popular comments. So make sure to get your your comments in, and maybe you can make one of the upcoming episodes. Well, hey, well that's all we've got for today. Keep doing it sin miedo, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye,
Sin
y'all.
miedo.